Welcome back to the Power in Your Voice podcast. We would like to first say thank you to those who tune in week after week, those who share the link on various platforms. Thank you. Y'all, this season, we are excited to bring you some hot and new topics. We are ready to push you further into your destiny. If you feel stuck or even overwhelmed, I want you to tune in and have a mind of expectancy, because we believe that if you challenge it, it will change.
Welcome back to the Power in Your Voice. Challenge it and it will change. Y'all, we're still talking about them blues because it's real. We're in the month of January, and I'm telling you, this is the beginning of the year, and these blues are happening. Y'all, I got to talk to Wes about these blues. Come on, Wes, talk to me about the blues.
Hey, Dr. Linda and the team, man, it's always good to see y'all. And I'm not going to slow roll coming in. Like my sister said, we're going to go ahead and jump on in. I'm going to go ahead and put Ebony out there. But no, this is a good topic. And I feel like Jalen did, like she said last week, not really want to even talk about this because, man, it's just, it's not anything that's bad that's going on, but it's just a lot that's happening. I got a lot this going on and a lot on my mind, and we just working through a lot of different things right now, and it can really be a weight, and it can be a heaviness on you at times when your mind is just overwhelmed and it's just bogged down with just a lot of different things. It might not be physically draining, but it's a mental drain. It's a mental drain. And today I was like, sometimes you just sit back and you ask yourself, like, what's going on? And you try to check yourself out of it. And it's a lot of times it's easier said than done. But, what I've learned is that there's always something something to be positive about, even in the midst of challenges and man, just things sometimes going topsy-turvy. If we look hard enough and think hard enough, there's always something that we can really be positive and be thankful for. And so I had looked up this today, man. I had to challenge a thought, because sometimes when you down in the dumps, man, your mind will take you to some crazy places. And I had to challenge a thought that that my joy was under attack. So I went and I went and looked up about joy, and I found this article, and it said there's a difference between joy and happiness. It said happiness is the feeling that you get when things are going well. It's based on your circumstances. But joy, on the other hand, is a deep sense of pleasure, delight, and gladness and well-being that is independent of the circumstance. So joy is not hinged upon the circumstance. And then it went on to say that joy flows from a deeply rooted conviction that not only does God cause all things to work together for the good of those that love him, but inherent in joy is a sense of delight in God that can cause our heart to smile even if things on the outside seem to be falling apart. And that's pretty powerful, because a lot of times we may be in that place where it seems like everywhere we look and turn, things are just falling to pieces. But but in the midst of it all, we still have joy. Somehow, some way, our heart is still able to smile and have a kind word to say to somebody, and still be in a positive place. I remember in the scripture it says, it tells us what to think. It tells us how to think. It said, whatsoever things are lovely, pure, of good report, think on these things. Wherever there's virtue and wherever there's praise. So a lot of times like I said, we have to just really talk ourselves out of the funk. We gotta be in a place to find that happiness, and know that happiness is when things are going well. But joy, we can have joy in spite of situations. So so for me, like I said, I often try to just find that good place and think about something is good that's going on that will try to turn that frown upside down. And And like Minister Davion said on last week, eventually every once in a while, man, when after every rainfall, the sun does shine. So that quote I actually found, it was by a man named Mr. John Lindell, and he actually wrote that. It was about 3 years ago, actually. It was January of 2020 when he wrote that article. So yeah, that's to cite our sources.
That's real good. That, that right there is so good, especially when you're in the blues. You have to try to reach and find where that joy is at, because no matter what, that joy has to be there. So you have to reach down sometimes and pull it out. And that's why I'm so glad that we have the scripture to be able to tell us that. That's awesome. That's awesome. We just passed Martin Luther King's birthday. And Ebony, I just sent you a quote. Read that quote by Dr. Martin Luther King. And it talks about still dealing with these blues.
It says, we must accept infinite disappointment, but never lose infinite hope. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that.
Wow. And that's by Dr. Martin Luther King. And the reason why I brought that up is because what Wes was talking about, these quotes are serious. That means that these same type of people experience the same things that we experience. And what they did is they put something in place to give us hope. They put something in place that we can still run the race. We can still hang on in there. That's what I love about this podcast. We try to put something positive, that no matter what you're going through, you're not the only one that's being challenged with these things. And so that's going to bring me back to Jalen. I mean, before we get on the podcast, she have us rolling. And so y'all, she is in these blues right now. And I wish she would articulate it to you all like she did it to us, because it's not funny, because she's really there, but we are just trying to find some joy in it. Come on, Jalen, talk to me about these blues.
Y'all, I had the team laughing because I just told them, I said, sometimes LP can make you a little bit discouraged. Y'all don't know the behind the scenes. Sometimes, y'all, I see they number pop up on my screen, and I really don't want to answer it, but I do anyways. I just do. And that's just the truth. I'm telling y'all, because I know they about to call me something. But yes, I don't let that always discourage me, because we always get it done. We always get the job done. And you just got to find something to laugh about, because if you don't, I'm telling you, you just going to be down. You're gonna be down in the dumps. But I was telling them, well, they wouldn't let me tell them, but I was trying to tell them about, so I've been reading through 1st and 2nd Samuel, and it reminded me of when David was anointed. David didn't know he was anointed as king, because Samuel never disclosed what he was being anointed for. And so when David was anointed, his life went haywire. Just went haywire. He was running from Saul. He was hiding in caves, and he was having to go live amongst the enemy. Like he had to even act like a crazy man one time. Like his life was just horrible. And I know y'all read songs. He was in the dumps. But yes. And so I say all that because David was anointed for something, but he didn't know anointed for what. And so that's what I'm here to tell you. Like, you are anointed, and you might not always know what you're anointed for, but the process is always going to be worth it in the end. So you can't say, even one verse in 1 Samuel tells David to get out of his stronghold and go back to Judah. And that
Yeah.
really just stuck with me. It means get out of that place that's holding you, that place that you're trying to stay in, and get back to that place of praise. That's what Judah is. And so, in all of that, don't let the circumstances, don't let the hard times, don't let your stronghold hold you, but get back to what you know. So that's all I have to say.
That's good, Jalen. Especially been working for LP. That means that she works for Dr. Linda. And I told you, challenge it and it will change. We have a lot of work that we have to do that people really don't understand the legwork of what we really do and what we put in, because we don't like to just bring you anything. We just finished a book talking about from a little girl to a queen, and I'm telling you, it has been man, very challenging. And just to get it out on Amazon, it has been one of the toughest times that we ever had to work with, because we had to keep changing the dimensions, the size, and all of those things. It was just really rough for us. It was a very new project. And whenever you are into something new, it can really frustrate you. But I'm grateful we were able to go through it. And Jalen was our person that we wake up early in the morning with work. And so, y'all, that work can be challenging. And I'm watching us do it in the year of 2023. There are so many things that we are grinding, and we're moving, and we're pressing, and it looks like it's not going to succeed. But I want you to know that everything that we're doing and everything that you're doing, it has success on it. And that's why it's worth the work that we're putting in. And that's why we're making these quotes, as Pastor West just made, as Ebony just made. We made those quotes off of those people that have already gone before us. So, Boss Lady Renise, talk to me about the blues.
What I want to say, if we all did everything the same, life would be boring. But because we're all different, and we all have a different skill.
Yes.
Every time you're challenged with the skill that you are birthed with, and that you have increased, and you're starting something new, it always will give you a story to make sure that it's worth the fight for you not to ever just give it up. So whenever something is valuable to you, you're going to put the work in, you'll put the time in it. One thing I am learning, and I heard someone say this at my job, they said one thing that's constant, and that's change.
Yes.
Change will always be there. And we have got to learn how we have to learn how to get a grip when change is coming. Because changes come and they can throw you off. It can throw you off. You can be having the greatest day of your life. And something can come in so fast that can change your day.
That's so true.
Just because it changed today, what you do with your change determines your future. You gotta always be reminded of that. So just because you got the blues today, it's your story. Add on to it. Make sure either you write it well or you sing it well. But know this, you're gonna come out of it. It's just a story. It's your blues. And something great is gonna come out of. They talked about it last week. Something great is gonna come out of your grape or your olive. Or whatever, just make sure you get all of it out, so that when you come out of this blues, the next one you got to go through, you say, oh, this is a piece of cake. I can come through. I can get out of this because I just got out of that one.
Yes. Yes, that's good. That's good, Bernice. I like how you said about what the blues is. You're just telling your story. And so many blues artists today, we are singing their songs and they are very popular, even from their hard times, what they were actually going through. They made a song out of it. And I told you, it has success on it. It may not look good, it may not feel good, but it has success. Ebony, you look like you want to weigh in on these blues again. Come on, talk to me.
I would just like to add, just as Renice was just talking about how change happens. First of all, change is uncomfortable, just because of the unknown. So we already know that. But I was thinking about just autistic children in general, how if you make any kind of change throughout their day, whether you change the route or whatever, it throws them for a loop. It doesn't mean that they can't become comfortable with a new change or with, a new direction. It just means it takes a second. So sometimes it takes a second to get your ground again. And just like we all go through, as we're saying, everybody deals with the blues, whether it's big, whether it's small, whether it's medium, it doesn't matter. But when it does happen, when that shift in your day comes, if it starts off in the morning, whether it's, people say, oh, I woke up on the wrong side. No, something changed. There was a change that was
Yes.
incorporated in your day. So it's all about how do you deal with it? Do you go to the gym? Do you, as they mentioned last week, do you, run it out on the track? Do you run it out on here? Do you go boxing? Whatever you do, you have to know, breathe. We've done that episode before too. You've got to take that woo-saw. You got to ground yourself again because something has thrown you off track. Doesn't mean that it's not going to be uncomfortable. It doesn't mean that you cannot do it and be successful in it. It just means find your ground as of today, as of that moment, and then move forward.
Yeah.
So that's what I would add to that.
That's good. That's good. Davion, you want to weigh in on it?
I'll add this real quick. So when we first moved, because we moved to North Carolina, and but we moved from Texas, and it was crazy because when we was in Texas, everything was cool, right? Like we actually had a lot to do, so it was like too busy to even be thinking about about something else. And then, but once we got to North Carolina, man, we was with my mom and dad, and I was sitting down with them, and I was like, "Yo, I'm feeling weird." Like, as a matter of fact, it wasn't even just then because I called you, Dr. Linda, about maybe a week ago. I don't even think it was a week ago, and I was like, "I'm feeling like not confused, but I'm just feeling like I don't know what's going on, right?" So, and you were sharing with me, and my mom and dad, they shared with me too the same thing. They were like, "You transitioning from one place to another, finding a job and just settling,
Yeah.
right? Everything that's going on." And somebody may be having the blues, and like you said, sometimes it just pops up, right? But sometimes you may, like my TT was saying, sometimes if you step back and kind of evaluate what's going on in your life, you can kind of figure out this may be why I'm feeling this way. So let me just keep on moving because this is the reason why I'm feeling this way. And we're really starting to settle here in North Carolina, and like everything is starting to come together, and I'm starting to see a change, right? And I'm so excited about it because like a month and a half ago, I was like, man, this is just, oh my gosh, like I'm just not understanding what's happening. Versus today, I'm like, everything is coming together and it's just different. It just feels peaceful, right? But I'm grateful that I'm able to have that testimony today. So yeah.
That's good. That is good, Davion. Y'all, we're at the beginning of the year. We're in January, and we're trying to get into this year and get settled. We are trying to really stay focused. We're trying to say, let's go get it. But I want you to just relax, enjoy where we are, because we got a whole year to finish this race. It's not like you just run real fast. It's like a marathon. And you have to get yourself in shape, your mindset, your whole, everything has to come together. And I don't know about you. I am a person that when I'm trying to bring things together and too many pieces is there, y'all, I have to step back for a second. I just have to step back, go and maybe run an errand or something like that, and then come back to it. And then I can get a better understanding of what I need to do and how I need to rightly divide my time, divide what is going on so I can do it properly. Y'all, we have a whole year. Be encouraged. Never quit. The blues is something we all experience. And I want to encourage someone. There will be success. As the songwriter said, there will be glory after this. It may be raining. It may be pouring. People are experiencing floods and storms and all types of changes in the beginning of the year. People are experiencing suicide, or people are experiencing so many things. But I want to encourage us. Let's keep looking up, because that's where our help comes from. And I want you to know there will be glory after your blues. All right. God bless you. Peace out.
Know that life can be hard at times, sometimes even unbearable. But know when we are weak, God is strong. Let's take off the world's expectation of us and ask God, what do you expect of me? We ask that you like, comment, and subscribe. Have a blessed week, and see you next week.